part of the agreement, we have what we call implementation monitoring team. It will reside at NUC. It will be coordinated by the Office of the Executive Secretary of NUC. And so that committee has Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education, Salaries and Wages Commission, it has ASUU, it has NUC itself. And so that committee will continue to monitor the agreement. We can raise flags immediately without wasting time if we notice there is a delay. There are various aspects of the agreement that can be measured. You know, say the issue of our conditions of service, the appointment of council members, pro-chancellors of a university, whether there are universities that are not electing their heads of departments, deans, the provost, and all of that. So there are measurable aspects of the agreement, and we believe that we can monitor it that way. If we monitor, we can raise concerns before it gets to a head. And we hope that in 3 years' time, we would have no strike at all until this agreement is considered again for another review.
I was going to say amen to that, but I mean, you forgive me and a lot of Nigerians if we're really just approaching this with cautious optimism because we've been here time and again. But let's try to be clear about one thing. First, does it mean that this 2009 agreement is dead and buried forever? We'll no longer hear about it again?
First of all, let me say amen on your behalf. Yeah. So, amen to the point that the prayers that you were reluctant to answer. We believe that we now have a 2025 agreement. All references will be made to the 2025 agreement. The 2009 agreement is no longer going to be what we refer to, but there are aspects of the 1992 agreements signed by Professor Tahiru Jega that we still refer to, you know, in terms of guide as to why we are where we are. It's history. So 2009 is history, and we'll continue to refer to our history so that we would be guided properly. But for implementation, there's really nothing we're going to be implementing in 2009 agreement. It will be 2025 agreement. And let me tell you something about this desire for stability in our system. ASUU and our members are committed to stability in our system. ASUU and our members have never been the ones defaulting in keeping to this agreement. It is government. That's why we keep talking about sincerity.
Right.
Honestly, if there is just one word that government needs to take seriously, is sincerity. If they are sincere in implementing, we're not going to pay ourselves salaries. We're not going to appoint pro-chancellors and governing councils. We're not going to appoint vice-chancellors in the strict sense of it. There are organs that are in place to do all of these things. It is the abuse of the process.
I understand that, and that's a point that you have.
Lack of understanding of that process that always leads us to